Today we're going to talk a little about pre-emerge corn herbicides, especially in front of Roundup Ready corn. The reason why there's a distinction here, next week we'll talk about conventional corn pre-emerge herbicides, but when we start thinking about Roundup Ready corn, what's our number one concern? It's broadleaf weeds. So today we'll focus more on the pre-emerge herbicides that are better on broadleaves.
Brian, I want to add something to what you just said. Yeah, we're concerned about broadleaf weeds in Roundup Ready corn, but Roundup is simply the best rescue product we've ever had for grass control in corn. We just haven't had an option like this. It's so good. So we've been able for a number of years now to be able to cut back on the pre-emerge use rate because Roundup was going to clean everything up. Well, unfortunately now Roundup's not going to clean up the broadleaves. So we've got to focus on these pre's at getting the broadleaves under control, but thank goodness we have Roundup to clean up the escape grasses later on.
Okay, the best product pre-emerge that's going to get both grass and broadleaves, in my opinion, would be Verdict, but unfortunately it's high priced, which is why not a lot of people use it. What Verdict is its Outlook plus Sharpen. The Sharpen in there is the broadleaf component that is excellent on most broadleaves, not just for residual, but also has really good burn down. With Outlook and any of the Group 15s, so we're talking Dual, Surpass, Harness, Zidua, all those Group 15s, they're great on grass and just okay on broadleaves, and it's mainly the small-seeded broadleaves that they help with. With Sharpen, it's great on broadleaves, and I mean both the small-seeded broadleaves and some of the large-seeded broadleaves too. So it's a really nice complement having both those things together. Again, that's Verdict. 10 ounces is kind of the standard rate. You could bump that even more in corn.
Brian, I want to take a little exception to what you said about the Group 15s being grass herbicides and the other stuff being broadleaf herbicides. That's only because we've been cutting the rate on the Group 15s. When we use them at a full rate, like we're doing in conventional corn, we do get some small-seeded broadleaf control out of them, and it's not bad.
Yeah,
things
60
like
to 80%.
lamb's quarters and lamb's quarters, pigweeds, we're going to get 80 or 90% control out of those. Now, I get it, 90% is not good enough in these heavy pressure situations, but don't sell them short. It's just that we've been cutting the rate back, that they haven't given us a little better control.
All right, 90%, I think Darren's pushing it. I'd say 60 to 80%, but still. The point is, today we wanted to focus on some of the other things you can do besides the Group 15s. So one of the biggest ones is that whole HPPD family. And I realize there are a lot of products out there, so let me just talk kind of in general, whether it's Balance Flex or something that has Callisto, any HPPD that we're going to put down pre, that's going to have really good activity on broadleaves. Now, we have to be concerned about carryover in some areas of the country, so just be careful what you're doing on rate, and if you use it pre, don't use it again post.
Other products you may consider that are actually priced pretty well right now are Sure Start and Triple Flex. So again, here we've got that Group 15 base with a broadleaf component. In this case, it's Python and Stinger. So if you can handle Python and Stinger with your crop rotation, for not very many dollars, you can incorporate one of these two products into your program.
The number one thing we want to leave you with today is use a pre-emerge herbicide. Now, fortunately, if let's say your timing isn't just perfect and the corn gets out of the ground, you can use a lot of these pre's post-emerge. Now, you can't use Verdict, you can't use Balance Flex, depending on which thing you're tank mixing with it and how big that corn is, but products like Sure Start and Triple Flex, there's absolutely no problem using those early post-emerge. But use a pre-emerge herbicide. We'd prefer to see you get it on before that corn comes up. What that's going to mean for you is you're going to have a weed-free field much earlier and hopefully well into that growing season. Then you can come with your post-emerge product. That's generally speaking the way to get the best yields.
One of those weeds that you definitely have to stop is our Weed of the Week. We'll show you how to do it coming up next.